Stop, Alexa.
Even when he's in Florida, he still doesn't. All right, are we all ready to begin?
Yes.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the Liberty for Philly podcast. Once again, I'm Mitchell. That's Ben, and joining us for the first time in a couple episodes, it's Alex Watson. How are you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing very good. I'm very tired.
Yeah, so am I. Well, if you guys don't notice, Ben is not his normal setup because that's why he's in Florida. He was in Las Vegas last week. Now he's in Florida. Talk about, I don't even know what to say. You're just going to the complete opposite sides of the country.
Look. I think I know what you're about to say. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. Flying first class doesn't sound that
No,
bad.
first class flight. The only thing bad was the children.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of every flight. I've flown first class, I think three times, twice to Florida and then once to Barcelona. Actually, twice to Barcelona. It was nice.
I flew to London. That was phenomenal in first class. They have the bed and everything. Oh,
yeah. And what's it called? I flew to London when I was in like third grade on a 747, but we were in like business class, but it wasn't that bad. Business class on British Airways is pretty nice.
Oh yeah, it's very.
That's still one of my bucket list items is to go on like one of the Emirates things and like have like the little suite thing. That seems super cool. Like the mini apartment building one. I think it's like 20,000. But like if you get it like on like I've seen people do these trips and like they get them for like $500 because they like get a loophole in. Like instead of going from this place to this place, to go the opposite direction. It's like $500. So that's like crazy to think about. But enough about plain talk. It's now time for college football. And Jared will be joining us probably at some point during this episode. So we're going to try to talk as much stuff without Jared interrupting us until then. So let's start off with college football. So obviously Penn State, Ohio State was this weekend. Unfortunately, Penn State did put up a good fight. However, they lost like they were expected to be, but they only dropped 2 spots in the AP poll, which is very surprising. They looked like a completely different team against Illinois, and it would have been intriguing to see if Sean Clifford didn't play against Illinois, what the result would have been. I can make fun of this because Jared isn't here. Michigan lost, and Michigan still is the worst team in the Big Ten. And that's a fact. And it's mostly because Harbaugh can't coach in big games. So, yeah. Anyways, new AP poll is out, and this is the last week we'll be referencing the AP poll in our podcast. Starting this Tuesday, the college football playoff poll will begin, and that's what will be used to determine who makes the college football playoff. I keep dropping my little fidget thing, but we're just like going. Anyways, Georgia stays the number 1. Cincinnati is in 2. So Georgia stays the number 1 as they have been for the past couple weeks. Cincinnati still in 2. That's where College Game Day is going. I know Jared would probably say that. Alabama stays in 3, which I really don't understand why. Oklahoma 4, which I really don't understand why either. Michigan State is at 5. Ohio State's at 6. Oregon 7. Notre Dame 8. Michigan is 9. Wake Forest is 10. Justin's team. Oklahoma State is in 11th. Auburn moves to 12th. Texas A&M moves up to 13th. Baylor moves up 2 spots to 14th. Ole Miss moves down 5 spots to 15th. University of Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners, is one of the last 6 teams in FBS remaining that is undefeated, and they are in the 16th spot. BYU is at 17. Kentucky is in 18th. Iowa is in 19th. Houston is in 20th. Coastal Carolina is in 21st. Penn State moves down 2 spots to 22. SMU is I might add that Penn State's the only 3-loss team in the top 25. SMU is in 23rd. Louisiana Lafayette's in 24th, and Fresno State takes 25, and just outside is Pittsburgh. And North Carolina State and Wisconsin are all outside the top 25. Now that leads us to next week's day in college football. Also, you might be wondering, why isn't this our NCAA basketball preview episode? And that is because of Ben being in Florida, we are not going to put him through the effort of having one of his strong suits subjects being in Florida. So we're just going to postpone that back a week, and we will do it next week and make sure it's as best as it can be. Yeah. Thank you for your cooperation. Anyways, if the schedule can pull up. All right. Next week in college football. A lot of teams have buys, but where does that go with it? Georgia State, Louisiana. I think Louisiana wins this. Do you guys agree on that?
Yes.
Raging Cajuns are pretty good. I know they lost to Texas earlier in the year, but they're a good team. I'll take them.
Liberty versus Ole Miss. I think Liberty actually wins this game.
Liberty is probably one of the best non-Power 5 conference teams I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
They always are. They're usually in the top 25. I'll take the Flames.
I'm gonna take Mississippi.
All right. SMU versus Memphis. I'm gonna go SMU in this one.
Didn't Memphis lose to Temple?
Yes, and then Temple proceeded to be outscored 47-7 since then.
Okay,
Something
cool.
like
So we're gonna go with SMU because we don't pick hot garbage to win.
Alex, do you agree with the hot garbage?
I would agree with that.
All right, next we got Wake Forest at North Carolina. Very tough game. However, I think Wake Forest wins. Wake Forest is doing pretty well at this point. They might get into a New Year's Six bowl.
Alex?
Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to take Wake Forest here. I don't know if it's going to be a close game or not. I'm going to take Wake Forest in like a decent win.
You know what? Nah. Sorry.
You're going UNC, my ACC winner prediction.
Yeah, look how that's turning out, Mitchell. Look, I do think North Carolina is still a good team with Howell at quarterback, and Magic has got to run out for Wake Forest at some point. So I think it's going to be one of the tougher ACC teams in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. Missouri, Georgia. I think we all know where this is going. So yeah, Georgia's gonna win by a lot of points.
Dude, just move on, Watson. Move on.
Yeah.
Next.
I don't have anything to say. Just next.
Ohio State, Nebraska. I think we also don't have really much to say on this one. Ohio State wins. Agree.
I want to see if Kyle McCord will get back into the game.
Yes, McCord.
So I'll go St. Joe's. Not St. Joe's Prep. He went to St. Joe's Prep. I'll go to Ohio State.
All right.
We
got.
No, I take Ohio State.
And then now we got Idaho State versus BYU. I think BYU should win this game because I've never heard of Idaho State before.
Nobody cares about that game.
I forgot about the state of Idaho until you brought it up.
All right. I'm gonna go Navy beating Notre Dame. I still think Notre Dame is still a heart attack waiting to happen. I mean, same with Oklahoma. They're gonna lose at some point. They just keep winning these close games. Notre Dame almost lost to UNC. Navy almost beat Cincinnati. I got Notre Dame losing in this game.
I wish, because I like Navy and all, but they run that option offense. They haven't been great this year. In the what are they, AAC?
Yeah, American Athletic Conference.
Yeah, so they haven't been great this year. So I'm gonna go with Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Not that often that I agree with Ben on a lot of things here, but I'm also going to take.
Also, usually our laptops have free Zoom, and now it's telling me that I need to upgrade for more time. But granted, once probably the timer runs out, it will be automatically extended. Just so you know, if we act like we have to cut ourselves, in that way, do not take it that way. I see where you're going with this, but if it seems like we are into
taking it that way,
I think somebody else was taking it that way. Anyways, if it looks like we are different in two different places, you know why. The next game on the schedule is Baylor TCU. I think Baylor wins this game. Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go for Baylor.
Penn State, Maryland. I think Penn State wins. I think they'll do well to finish out the year. However, I do think they'll be one of.
Apparently, this game is questionable to even being played because Maryland, made a statement saying they only play vaccinated schools.
Isn't Penn State vaccinated though? I mean, how do you tell if a school's vaccinated?
I don't know. That's what I heard from a Penn State kid who was supposed to go to the Maryland game, but ended up not. I could be 100% wrong. Don't take it from me. It's this kid.
I mean, if they forfeit the game, that's technically Penn State would have to find a non-conference opponent, or Maryland would have to forfeit their game because they're the ones asking for the requirement. Therefore, I think it would be a forfeit on their part. Who's like good that doesn't play? Oh, Alabama. Penn State, Alabama. All right, yeah, I'm here. Well, I'm the one talking here, so I'm gonna keep talking until you guys can hear me. Well, a team that is not playing next week is, a little known team in Alabama.
Good times and good.
Okay. All right, there we go. We're back. Okay. What I was saying was, I would love to see Alabama, Penn State on short notice. Everybody else agree?
Agree. Sure.
I mean, if Maryland wants to opt out, that's their choice. I would rather see Penn State, Alabama, or Penn State, Oklahoma. Give me that.
So you can be wrong about yet another prediction.
I don't know. I just want to see them play a tough opponent again.
Am I wrong, or did Mitchell literally predict that Penn State was going to beat the last few opponents?
I've predicted they'll win every game this year. Okay. It's gonna keep going that way. They're gonna beat Maryland or whoever they play. COVID, I don't know. They're gonna beat them. Oklahoma State versus West Virginia. West Virginia just upsetted Iowa State. I think Oklahoma State does win though. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
We'll take the state.
All right, speed run. Auburn, Texas A&M. I say Auburn, and thumbs up from Zone on that.
I'm gonna take Texas A&M on this one.
Ben.
I'll take Texas A&M as well.
All right, Michigan State, Purdue. I think we all know where that's going. I think Michigan State will win.
Right, Purdue. I'm just saying now, Michigan State.
Yeah. Tulsa, Cincinnati. Cincinnati will win. Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern. Coastal Carolina should win. Boise State, Fresno State, tough game, but Fresno State should win. Tennessee, Kentucky, it's at Kentucky, therefore Kentucky will win. Iowa versus Northwestern. Northwestern will beat Iowa because I'm so salty, and they have lost their last two games. Never mind, Alabama does have a game. They play LSU, but they'll still beat them. Indiana, Michigan. Michigan will beat Indiana. Houston, South Florida. Houston will win. Oregon, Washington, Oregon will win, and Texas, San Antonio versus Texas, El Paso, San Antonio will win. And that's our speed run there for college football. But that leads us to the main point of today's episode. PIAA football playoffs are upon us, and it's time to do some predicting. Start off here in the 6A, which is where Garnet Valley and Downingtown West and Downingtown East all play. Unfortunately, Alex's schools.
How does it feel to have good teams?
Alex's team plays in the 5A.
Westchester East.
Well, they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah,
how's the state?
I have a lot of words I can say here, and I don't want to crap on our team too much. We are very, very, very not good.
All right, let me just fix you guys here. There we go. All right, Ben, this is your segment. Why don't you lead us through it?
All right, so taking a look at the 6A bracket, there are 16 teams in District 1. The winner of the 6A District 1 bracket will play the winner of the Allentown bracket and also the Philadelphia Public School / Catholic League bracket. So you're probably playing a team like LaSalle or St. Joe's Prep. So let's go from the one in the 16, Garnet Valley and Haverford. Now, me being a Garnet Valley fan, of course, I'm going to say Garnet Valley, but let me explain why. Haverford barely squeaked into the playoffs this year.
I'm salty about it.
They scheduled a last-minute game against the Academy of Palumbo from Philadelphia, which is a 6A team that was 4-1, which sounds like a good win in PIAA terms, but the Academy of Palumbo was playing mostly 1A pushovers. So I think that Haverford's going to lose this game pretty easily, especially because Garnet Valley beat them, I believe, 55-14 the last time. So that should be fairly simple for Garnet Valley.
Yeah,
Now,
oh, 1 second. I just want to say before that, I hope Haverford loses by more than 50 points because of the fact that their rescheduling of a game allowed for Downingtown West to be eliminated from the playoffs. So
well,
yeah.
let me explain that further, Mitchell. So, the 15-16 game was last week. That was Souderton and Bensalem. Souderton ended up winning that game. They made the playoffs. Number 17 on that list, remember 16 get in, was Haverford. Number 18 on the list was Downingtown West. Now, Haverford did not have a game that week, and Downingtown West was playing Avongrove. So if Haverford still did not schedule a game, Downingtown West would have been in. However, Haverford, realizing their situation, scheduled a 6A team that would give them more enough points to get in the playoff bracket. All right, so moving on to the 8-9 game. This is a conference game between Central Bucks West and Penridge. Now, these two teams already played this year, and the winner of that game was Penridge, I believe. They beat Central Bucks West. That's one of 2 losses for them. The other loss came to the number 2 seed, North Penn. Penridge is a very underrated team, in my opinion. I will take Penridge over Central Bucks West.
Oh, wait, Alex, did we make a projection for Garnet Valley Haverford? No, we didn't.
Yeah,
okay. So Alex, I have Garnet Valley winning. Do you agree?
I really hope that Garnet Valley can win that game. Yes.
You better have Garnet Valley winning.
Go Haverford. No.
All right. And yeah, I agree with you. Penridge is very underrated and will win this game.
I don't know high school football that well because I don't pay attention because my team kind of sucks. It's fun though. Like I know good teams. Like good. I guess they are a good team. I'll follow you guys.
Higher the seed, the better the team.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I'll follow your guys' judgment on some of these.
So CB West or Penridge for this one?
We'll go for Penridge, I guess, since you guys are. I hate to say that, but like.
All right. Ben, do you mind if I do the Downingtown East one?
Let me introduce this one, and then I'll let you go into it because there's something I would like to say about this game first.
Go right ahead.
So Downingtown East and Springford. Now, this is a trap game for Downingtown East. They, in my opinion, are a weaker 4 seed. And Quakertown is a strong 5 seed. And taking a look at Springford, they had a tough schedule. I mean, they lost to Manheim Township, which is a good a good District 3 team. I think they lost to North Penn or some other good school like that. And then they had a really tough game last week against Pottsgrove, a 4A team who they lost to. A very good 4A team, mind you that. So this is a real trap game for Downingtown East. I think East wins this, but it's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, to bit off of that, Springford was a record. Sorry about that. Our Zoom just decided to crash. So where did we leave off? Oh yes. Yeah, Springford is a really good opponent. East does have its problems at some points. However, its running game is next to none, and they do have good Jamie Jenkins and Giordino can like up for the long ball. So I think this game they'll win. Obviously the next round will be tougher. However, I think if Bo's on track to rush over for 200 yards in that game, which he has like over 150 yards, which he has done multiple occasions this year, the East will win. And that leads us to Alex. Who do you think wins, East or Springford?
I'm gonna take Downingtown East. I don't know much about Springford, but I'm gonna take the 4 over the 13.
You guys are saying Springford like you're from Wisconsin.
What do you mean? Springford.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Cheese.
Spring. Is it Spring?
Springford, like Ford the car, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Well,
whatever its name is, they're gonna lose.
Downingtown East over Springford. I'm just gonna keep pissing Ben off.
All right, Ben. Next match.
Well, thank you, Alex.
Yes.
All right, Quakertown and Souderton, another conference battle. We've seen a lot of conference battles. Besides the last matchup, I think 3 of the 4 we've introduced are conference battles. 2 of them in the Suburban 1 conference, and this is another. Quakertown and Souderton. Remember, Souderton had to beat Ben Salem in order to get into the playoffs. Quakertown is undefeated. However, the reason that Quakertown is the 5 seed is that they played the weakest schedule known to man for a 10-0 team. I mean, I think one of their games was also against Haverford Horsham, which they forfeited because Haverford Horsham folded their program this year. They did play some good teams, but again, the 10-0 record was very weak. I think Quakertown will win this game, but don't let me see them go. No, how do I speak? Don't expect them to go far. That's what I'm gonna say.
And that would lead us to our predictions. I think Quakertown wins. However, yeah, I don't think they're going to go far. Alex?
I'm going to take Quakertown.
Quakertown.
I know Ben is getting annoyed. This is why it's funny to me. No, seriously though, I'll take Quakertown as well.
And that leads us to the bottom half of the bracket. Start us off with North Penn, CB South.
North Penn, CB South. Until Haverford scheduled the game against Academy of Palumbo, it looked like North Penn was going to be the 1 seed. However, Garnet Valley just pulled out enough points with the matchups from their previous opponents to beat North Penn for the 1 seed. However, North Penn already beat CB South this year and in swift fashion. So I'm going to go again with North Penn.
Yeah, North Penn by a lot. That's my prediction.
I would agree with North Penn as well. Damn, this time I can't mispronounce any names, or else people think I'm just an idiot.
And now we got Ridley, who got blown out by Garnet Valley, and Conestoga, which I literally haven't heard anything about all year. So, Ben, let me know something.
All right. So here's the funny thing about this matchup. Garnet Valley beats Conestoga 55-14. Conestoga still goes 7-3, and they just played last week at Ridley. The funny thing is, because Conestoga lost that game, they dropped to the 10, and they have to play at Ridley for 2 weeks in a row.
So what was the score of last week's game?
It was fairly high scoring. I don't know the exact score, but I think it was within a single score.
Okay.
Which is kind of shocking to see Conestoga's progression from early in the year where they had like a bunch of turnovers to now where they're competing with Ridley.
Yeah.
This is a tough one, but I think Ridley's going to bounce back. They have a great coach in Coach Wood. He was a former coach at Garnet Valley, and he knows how to correct his teams very quickly. So I feel like Ridley's going to rout them in this one.
I'm going to actually disagree with you. I think Conestoga, with their improvements, and I think especially after just playing Ridley last week, I think they'll figure out what they did wrong and how to pick apart the Ridley defense. So I think Conestoga wins in the first upset, in my opinion. Actually, no, this is my second upset, if you're counting Penridge, but that's not really an upset.
It's an upset. It's technically an upset. I don't know. You know that Ben really hates Ridley, so it's probably a hard decision for him to make in some ways. I don't know. I'll take Ridley in this one.
All righty. And now we got Coatesville and O&J Roberts.
So another funny thing about this matchup, the winner of the last week's Coatesville versus the East matchup not only won the Chestmont, but also got to be the 3 seed instead of the 4. And that proved for a much easier matchup. O&J Roberts, even though they have a lot of wins, they are not good. I mean, they lost to Conestoga in their first game of the year, and they've dropped some since. So I'm going to go Coatesville fairly easily.
Yeah, I think Coatesville routes O&J Roberts out of the building. I think the substitutes will get some playing time in the third quarter. That's my prediction.
I will also take Coatesville. I'm not sure by how much, but I believe that Coatesville should be able to win.
Now we got Purkeman Valley in Central Bucks East.
Perkiomen Valley Central Bucks East. This is a tough one for me. Central Bucks East is a good team. They're probably the second strongest Central Bucks school behind West, but it's fairly close in that matter. Central Bucks South is levels below them. Perkiomen Valley though is a tough team. They pulled out a tough 8-2 against some tough teams, including they beat Downingtown West, I believe. Is that correct?
It was a close game. It was a close game up until the end, and then West fell apart.
Yeah. The one of their losses was Coatesville this year, and I do not know the other loss, but it was against a pretty tough team themselves. So Perkiomen Valley also has a very good throwing quarterback with a good receiving core. I will go Perkiomen Valley in this.
Perkiomen Valley beat Springfield, lost to Coatesville by 8 points, routed West, lost to Mannheim Charter by 3.
Mannheim Township?
Yeah, it's MCHS. I don't know.
MCHS. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And then they lost that by 3. They beat Springford by 6, beat Norristown, destroyed O&J Roberts, beat Boyertown, and they beat Mecca-Cathan, and then whatever that school's name is, and then then they routed Pope John Paul. Central Bucks East, they played it close with North Penn, only losing by a touchdown. So they lost to Ridley by 5. They beat Neshaminy. They beat Central Bucks South. They beat Ben Salem. They beat Abington 3-0, which I think is a forfeit, right? Or
I don't believe so, actually. Abington has a football program, and they were playing.
So yeah, 3-0. What a that's quite a game. Pennsbury, they've destroyed them. They beat Central CRNHS I don't know what Newtown.
Oh no. That's not a good school. Central Council Rock North.
Yeah, they lost to Penridge by 10. They only lost to North Penn by 7. They didn't play Central Bucks. Oh, no, they did play Central Bucks West, and they lost 35-15. So on that note, yeah, it's a be close game. However, I think Perkiomen Valley wins. Perkiomen Valley.
So now we take a look at our.
Wait, Alex, did you pick?
Oh, it's just I thought me nodding in agreement was like.
I didn't see it.
I'll take as well.
Okay.
So what did we predict here? Yeah, did we predict Garnet Valley Penridge? Right, we all agreed on that. All right.
Yes. So Garnet Valley Penridge. All right. So looking at this game, you have an underrated team against probably the best team in District 1. This is a tougher game for Garnet Valley. They're going to be given a challenge. I do think Garnet Valley does win it in the end, though.
Garnet Valley will win. I agree with that.
I will take Garnet Valley. It's
going to be an ugly fought win, but they'll win. East Quakertown.
All right, East and Quakertown. This is tough for me because I've seen both teams, and I've seen East play multiple times. I'm not in love with East quarterback.
Agreed? Jamie Jenkins, you're not in love with him, bro?
Don't take that way, please. No.
I don't know.
That's a little Easter egg for your viewers at home. Make sure to go to this website. Find out more.
No. So East versus Quakertown. Quakertown's a small team. They're a very small team. East is more depth than them.
Oh, may I just add on to this? Sorry. For all the games that are this Friday, which is the first round, it's going to be rainy all over the county and District 1 with temperatures dropping below freezing. So we might have some sleety games going on. So take weather into account for round 1, which we've already passed, but it's going to be some sloppy football. Let's just say that.
Yes, it should be. According to that. So again, Downingtown East and Quakertown. I have East, but not by a lot. Quakertown's really small in size, and they're small as a team, and I think that's going to hurt them.
Yeah, East is smaller too. However, their running game and tight ends are really big. So I really think they won't be able to stop Bo, and I think Bo is a driving factor for this East team. If he gets going, the East team rolls, and as long as they don't stop firing on all cylinders and don't like do what they did against West, they will definitely win this game.
All right. So moving on. So now we have North Penn.
This is where I disagreed. I said Conestoga. You both said Ridley. I think, but either way, I think North Penn's winning. I'm just gonna put that out here. North Penn's winning this game.
I'll do both scenarios. So North Penn versus Ridley. That's a tougher game because I do like Ridley. They're a good team. I have North Penn. Conestoga, they confuse me, but I also have North Penn. All right.
Coatesville versus I think we both said Perkins Valley. I think Perkins Valley wins. I think they get revenge from the game earlier this year, and I really do think Coatesville overlooks this game and loses.
Now, this is a tough game because Coatesville gives over 300 yards of offense a game. That's abysmal for defense.
Mm-hmm.
But they make up for it in offense with Harrison Susie as they pretty much double that in offense. So that's tough because if you're not going to be stopping that quarterback, I have Perkins Valley, but yeah, I have Perkins Valley. That's going to be a win for Perkins Valley.
Yeah, Alex, you agree? Upset, or do you have Coatesville?
I'm gonna stick with your guys' judgment and go Perkins Valley. This district I don't know as much as 5A because it doesn't play in 5A, but I will trust. Normally I like Coatesville. Normally from the videos I've seen from them, like you said, they're a very, very good offensive team, but I will trust the judgment of two people that probably know this better than I do.
All right, that leads us now to this round right here. It's Garden Valley, Downtown East, and as much I would like to say biased East, Garden Valley is a really good team. I saw how they've destroyed West. I think it is a tough game. Don't get me wrong. I think Bo will give it his all, trying to carry West into this. East into the finals. However, Garnet Valley is a much better team with better depth than Downtown East. But as I really think it comes down to like 10 seconds left. I can't predict a winner, but I have to say Garnet Valley.
Oh, I can predict a winner fairly easily.
Well, of course you're going to say Garnet Valley.
No, really?
Well, no, but let me back up my point too.
Oh, wow. He's actually backing up his point, unlike Mitchell every week with Penn State.
Wow.
Wow.
So anyway, Garnet Valley right now is scoring on over 75% of their possessions. So every 3 out of 4 attempts, they are getting in the end zone for a touchdown. So here's the problem with that for East. I've seen a lot of time for East where they go 3 and out. And that was against Academy Park, and that was against Westchester Ruston. 2 very tough teams. But are they on the same level as Garnet Valley? I don't know. Probably not. Because Garnet Valley beat the number 2 team in Strathaven by over 40 points. If I did that math correctly. But who cares? We routed them. Anyway, if Jenkins goes 3 and out or turns over the ball like I've seen him do, Garnet Valley wins this game fairly easily because we will score. There's no doubt.
The one thing this would be is this would be one of your toughest games and over.
It will be a tough game, but here's the thing that will not make it tough is that if Jenkins forces those stupid throws he makes, or goes 3 and out like I've seen him do a bunch of times, I'm not concerned about the run. If Jenkins can torch Garnet Valley via the pass, all right, East has a shot. But if East struggles on offense like I've seen them do against some of these good teams, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. And that leads us to the other game, which is North Penn and Perkins Valley. Perkins Valley only lost by 7 points, and I think they improve that. I think Perkins Valley is my little Cinderella story, and I think they make it to the finals. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that's where that Cinderella story runs out. North Penn, I am fairly confident we'll get to the district championship. Wow, that's gonna be a home run for Adam Duvall, I think. Grand slam, holy.
This reminds me of the Nick Castaneos home run thing with the Cincinnati announcer, and that's going to be a deep drive to left.
Why can't the Astros be good at baseball? Just cheat. I don't want the Braves to win. Please.
Anyway, Perkiomen Valley again has a very good quarterback. But North Penn has one of the greatest tailbacks I've ever seen play the game. For high school, at least. I mean, he threw off 3 tackles for like a 90-yard touchdown against Central Bucks West, or I believe that's who that's against. I have North Penn winning this game, but it should be really close.
Alex,
I'm gonna take the higher seed here. I don't know how that's gonna work out for me. We'll see, but I'm gonna take North Penn to go to the finals.
So in my prediction, I have Garnet Valley versus Perkiomen Valley, but as I said, Garnet Valley is the best team in District 1, and they will win.
I would agree.
So, all right, so I'll go both scenarios. Garnet Valley versus Perkiomen Valley. This is again there's no easy games anymore. Once you reach like the second or third round of district final, there's no easy games. You're gonna face a good team. The trouble with Perkiomen Valley is that quarterback. I don't know his name. I don't care for his name, but he's a good quarterback. Now, I think this is tough. I think Perkiomen Valley is going to give Garnet Valley a challenge. I do see Garnet Valley winning it, but that they're one of my underrated teams in District 1. Garnet Valley, North Penn, they have that good tailback, but North Penn must have a good defense to win it, to back it up. I think Garnet Valley does win, but by only a single score.
Yeah. Alex, is Garnet Valley your champion?
Garnet Valley is my champion. I don't know by how much.
So
that the 2 seed also
Ben,
makes the final
or
section.
if you wanted to go, so who would they play? Who would Garnet Valley play in the?
Right. So Garnet Valley, it's pretty clear who they would play, but I'm not even going to say Garnet Valley. The winner of District 1, whoever that be, me and North Penn, Coatesville, Garnet Valley, etc., will play the winner of District 12, which is
Is that the Central York one, or is that St.
No.
Joe's?
That's District 3. And remember, this switches after a few years. So when Downingtown West made that round, they played District 3, which is Central York. The winner of District 1 will play the winner of District 11 and District 12. District 12 is the Philadelphia sector of the PIAA, and also the Catholic League teams.
So it's gonna be LaSalle, probably, right?
LaSalle or St. Joe's Prep, because
I would predict LaSalle. And so then, who are the other 2 teams? Because there's 4 teams, right? That all play each other in the Final Four in Harrisburg. I mean, Hershey.
Well, so remember, the Final Four is neutral site. So if it's like Garnet Valley and St. Joe's Prep, etc., that game will probably be a Kottmeyer. Just saying, because that is a neutral site for both teams, and it's also a bigger stadium for both teams because they like to host it in 8 to 10,000.
I was gonna say, yeah, Kottmeyer's probably the biggest stadium around here.
Yeah, or they'll go to North Penn or something like that. So, but let's just say Kottmeyer. Garnet Valley would play Prep or LaSalle, or District 1 champion will play District 1 LaSalle, or the Pocono champion, which would most likely be Parkland or Bethlehem Freedom. They look
So
like
I think it'll be Parkland versus Central York, and then winner of District 1, which is Garnet Valley in this case. So I think it'll be Central York, Parkland, West. I mean, Garnet Valley and LaSalle is like my final 4 teams in that.
Well, no, that's impossible. So remember, the District 11 champion plays the District 12 champion to play the District 1 champion.
Okay.
Because District 1 is bigger than the other districts.
So okay.
So
how does Central York get to there?
So Central York is on the entire side, on the entirely other side of the bracket. So they're going to be playing a Pittsburgh team. They're going to be playing district, whatever that is, like 5 or whatever that is. I don't know the district off the top of my head. What I know is Pittsburgh. So you're going to play Central York or Manheim Township or whoever that the champion is from District 3 against a Pittsburgh school, which probably is going to be Mount Lebanon. They are undefeated. They look really good. Or Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Or then you have the District 1 champion versus the District 12-11 champion, which is probably a Catholic League school.
And then the winner of those 2 games plays each other in Hershey, right?
The winner of those 2 games, yes, will play each other at Hershey Park Stadium.
So if it is LaSalle versus Garnet Valley, that's going to be a very tough game. And I think Garnet Valley, if it's at Kottmeyer, Garnet Valley is already used to Kottmeyer. So I think Garnet Valley would actually win that game and go to the state championship.
I'm thinking just win the district first. I'm taking it one step at a time. And just one game at a time, honestly. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I've seen LaSalle. They're a very well-toned team. They beat.
And on that note, look who decided to join us, everybody. Look at this! Look at this person right here, who's just coming in and still connected. There he is. It's Jared. Everybody say hi, Jared.
Hi, Jared.
Camera wasn't working.
Imagine.
Oh, is this the final seating?
Well, basically, we already went through District 1.
Okay, but Jared,
6A at least.
But it's now your turn. So remember, so I'll go through it for you. Garnet Valley versus Haverford. Garnet Valley already played.
I can see them. Ben.
Yeah, beat them 55-14.
So who do you think wins, Garnet Valley or
Haverford again?
Yes.
Oh my God, we're playing Springford again.
All right, but let me give you some background knowledge before you make your decision, Jared. So Garnet Valley, Haverford. Who do you have?
We're recording, right? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, we are recording.
Yeah, no, Garnet Valley.
Okay, then you have Central Bucks West and North and not North Penn, Penridge. Penridge beat Central Bucks West this year.
Yeah, they also lost to East somehow, right?
No, they lost Central Bucks West. Oh, yes, Penridge did lose to East. That is correct.
Yeah, I was about that. It was the Penridge. Okay. If we get that Penridge, CB West is gonna win. What was the score and where was the game?
I am not sure about those 2 things.
Good to know. I don't know. I'll go the Morrison bias and go West.
All right, then you have the East and Springford. Springford had an extremely tough schedule, but they're pretty good. They're an underrated team. And then
Sounds exactly like this matchup from 3 years ago, except it was a 7-10 matchup at Springford.
Yeah. Downingtown East is a weaker 4 seed.
Yes, they should not be this high. Oh boy. Who did Springford lose to? Do you know?
Springford lost to Pottsgrove last week, which is a pretty good 4A team. They lost to Manheim Township, which is a great team out of District 3. And I forget the other loss for Springford.
Did they beat anybody good?
Oh no, they lost to Perkiomen Valley. My bad. I think they did. I just don't remember off the top of my head. But all their losses came against top teams. Remember, they play in a weaker conference too.
That is also true. I'm gonna go East. It's gonna be close because, well, it's East, but I think East will win.
And it's gonna be in the sleet too, which is fun.
It's gonna be what? Oh,
very bad weather.
Oh, so we're not going. That's what you're saying?
I don't know. It's up to your band director, but probably not.
If it's gonna sleet, then we're not going.
Anyways, Quakertown, Solderton, Jared.
Yes, Quakertown is 10-0, but they played the weakest schedule known to mankind. And
even weaker than Garnet Valley.
Oh, worse than Garnet Valley. They're 10-0 and they're a 5 seed, Jared.
That is true.
So also Satterton just squeaked into the playoffs over a win over Ben Salem.
I'm going Quakertown.
All right, let's finish up that top of the bracket. Garnet Valley, CB West.
Oh, Garnet Valley.
East versus Quakertown.
Again, East is going to make it a lot closer than it should be, but oh no, now I'm going to jinx this matchup.
No,
True.
well, remember, Jared, Quakertown is small in size and small in depth.
I have a feeling East is going to lose to Springford now that I'm saying all of this, but you know what? I'll just say it. East. I'm going to hope for this matchup.
Then Garnet Valley East.
Downingtown East. Yeah, no, Garnet Valley is going to destroy. You know what? I'm going to go with Garnet Valley is going to win this game by at least 35 points.
All right,
I will be
bottom of the
surprised if
bracket.
the gap is by less than 20.
Bottom of the bracket. North Penn, CB South.
North Penn.
Ridley, Coatsolo, and Jay Roberts.
Next.
And Valley versus East.
Wow, all three Central Bucks schools made it. We're going Perkins Valley though.
Except, yeah. And
They're
then Coatesville, Perkins Valley.
Mitchell, try that again in English.
I was gonna say I've never.
Perkins Valley versus Coatesville.
Coatesville.
Ridley versus North Penn.
Jared, I would go
Penn.
North.
No,
Penn here.
I was thinking about pissing off Ben, but now go North Penn.
North Penn versus I think he said
Coatesville.
yeah.
That
Coatesville.
makes two of us, Jared, because I've been pissing him off this entire time.
And then Coatesville, Garnet Valley.
Oh, it's that matchup again, isn't it?
No, stop it.
Coatesville. Coatesville. You guys saw what the final score of that game was on Friday. Right?
Before Ben can explode, let's move on to 5A, which Alex actually knows.
Wait, did you guys see the score of the East Coastville game?
Yes. It was very bad.
Yeah.
All right. First game up on this thing, we got Ruston versus Interboro. I think Ruston wins this game. Everybody else agrees.
Okay, first of all,
should win this game. Yes.
First of all, 5A is one of the weakest things my bad. 5A is one of the weakest playoff systems I've ever seen. We have 3 and 6 teams making the playoffs in 5A, and it's extremely stupid.
It's kind of like FCS. They're going to get whooped up by the 6A teams, unless if you're Ruston. But
Westchester Ruston beat Downingtown East. Downingtown East is a 4 seed, unbelievably, but yes, in 6A, I take Ruston here easily.
East also just isn't good.
Their quarterback isn't good. That's why I've been saying.
Ruston also has speed, and East doesn't. That's the reason why they lost. The main reason. So at least it's my desk. Wait, why is the Upper Dublin game being held at Wissahickon?
Because the tornado destroyed Warminster.
Wasn't the tornado like a month ago now?
Yeah, but they.
Oh, by the way, we have 10 minutes before the recording stops again. So.
Wait, why did you make this a time?
We didn't. It was It's apparently the school district doesn't allow us unlimited Zoom meetings anymore. So.
Oh.
All right. So, anyways, let's speed through this. Chester Kennan. I don't hear what we said.
Chester. Kennett versus Kennett.
Kennett.
Oh
Chester.
Boy, that's a good matchup. But I'm gonna take Chester.
I would have Chester as well.
I'm gonna go. I'll go Chester. That's probably the hardest.
Wait, was Upper Dublin hit by the tornado from the end of July or from Ida?
From Ida.
Oh. That makes sense. Okay. Well, Henderson's in the play. What kind of world are we living in?
Henderson was a top seed a couple years ago. Not top seed, but like a home game.
They were better, a lot better.
Yeah. Well, I remember our freshman year, they went 0-10, didn't they?
Yeah, Upper Dublin's winning that game. White Marsh versus
White Marsh.
Cheltenham. I guess if you're going like the British pronunciation, is it Cheltenham or is it Cheltenham? Like
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham. Okay.
White Marsh wins.
I would agree.
All right. Strathaven, Upper Marion.
Ben, did you hear what I said?
Strathaven, easy, good team.
Yeah, I think.
And they got their running back. So.
I think. Well, obviously, maybe.
Did you get your favorite girls basketball player back too?
Yeah.
Strathaven.
Anyway, then
and they're 400 people in their 400 member band.
Marple, Newtown versus Phoenixville. Newtown wins.
Coach Gicking and Marple will win. They have a great player in Charlie Box and a great quarterback as a sophomore in Bertolini.
Unionville, Springfield.
Springfield, buddy.
Springfield. Oh my God, I can't see. Yeah, Unionville wins though.
Springfield is this? Yeah, this is Springfield Delco. Springfield Delco is off and on, and Unionville's a very good team. So I'm going to take the Longhorns.
But they got whooped by Downingtown East. So
and then Academy Park at Oxford because
wait.
Park
wasn't Academy Park donkey diarrhea?
They almost beat East.
Yeah, but they lost to Avongrove.
That was Chester
that was just a bad game to begin with because they can't kick extra points or field goals.
Everyone in 5A had an off game. I mean, like Chester lost to Chichester, which is abysmal.
Yeah, but didn't they almost beat Coatesville?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're both good teams.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Academy. No,
I'm going Academy Park.
Fine. I'll just I don't know.
All right. Ruston versus Chester. Ruston wins.
Ruston.
I actually going to this one, but Ruston.
And then Upper Dublin versus White Marsh. White Marsh wins.
Nope, Dublin. Very good team.
I'm going Dublin.
Strathaven, Newtown. Haven moves on.
Strathaven
because of their running back.
And then Unionville, Academy Park. Unionville moves on. Unionville, Strathaven moves on.
No, Unionville will move on.
Okay.
I was about to say I'm biased here. I'm pulling the Mitchell and going Unionville.
I'm gonna take Strath.
All right, then we got Dublin.
What was Unionville's off game, by the way?
I had East.
What?
They literally got blown out by Downtown East.
Well, yeah, because East played up to their potential for once in their lives.
Yeah, Strathaven got blown out by Garnet Valley. Same difference.
So then I had White Marsh.
So Ben, what was Unionville's off game? What do you think Unionville's off game was then?
I believe they shouldn't have lost to East by that much.
Yeah.
So I had White Marsh versus Ruston.
Do. Because East actually played up to their potential for the entire game. So
go ahead, Mitchell.
Ruston moves on.
Ruston, yeah.
I think Ruston beats Unionville.
Then I had Strathaven versus Unionville.
Oh yeah.
And then I think Strathaven. Yeah, we did that. So yeah, I have Haven moving on.
You had Strathaven. Everyone else.
So I had Ruston. I think Ruston wins it all. That's. I'm supposed to say
I think
that.
Ruston wins too.
Ruston's clearly the best team.
Yes.
Wait, but they lost to Unionville already, didn't they?
They may have, but Ruston looks clearly better now.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, they lost to Unionville. That's their only loss. But I think it's gonna be like 2011 LSU Alabama will get their revenge.
Well, it is the end of the countdown. We have 4 minutes and 45 seconds before Zoom ends.
So did we just do high school football?
We just did high school football, and then we talked about college football. Speaking of that, Jared, Michigan kind of lost there, you know.
I told you that was going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I said it too. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the win either. I only wanted the win. So like when they played when they played Penn State, it was a good game. So
but Penn State also lost.
I mean, to be honest, they looked better than they were predicted to. You got to admit that they didn't lose by the 18.5 points.
Show up until the second quarter.
The defense was too good from Penn State.
You know what? I'll solve it for both of you. We are losers. Hail to the losers.
Wait, no. I got it. We are Penn State.
Whatever.
There you go.
Our defense is good. It's just the offense.
Guess who's in first place right now? First and second place right now in the Big Ten, Mitchell.
Michigan State's going to lose. They're going to lose.
Predicted.
It's like they're going to lose to Penn State and Ohio State.
Even if they do, they're still not going. Wait. No, I think
no. Ohio State would move on. Ohio State would win the Big Ten.
No, I know they're going to lose to Ohio State, but they're not going to lose to Penn State.
They're going to lose to Penn State because they'll choke. Anyways,
Penn State will be
closing thoughts quickly. We have 3 minutes left.
Can't we just do another recording?
That's Jared's closing thought. Move on.
We what?
Alex.
Mitchell is a biased Penn State fan. No,
yes.
Yeah, good call.
I am extremely confident that Garnet Valley and Ruston are the clear front runners in their respective divisions.
And Ben.
Never count out the power of oneness. Go GV.
Wait, I got one question for you, Ben. How was the game last week?
What, against the Raiders game?
Yeah, the one you went to.
people were super friendly, but the game itself was kind of.
Oh wait, and I got one question. How did you not recognize that a 6'9" guy with an Eastern European accent was Zdeno Chara?
Yes, I met Zdeno Chara in an elevator.
How did you not recognize that?
I
could have been a Russian
don't know
sleeper
how.
agent. You don't know.
Eastern European and Russian are not the same thing. Okay, kind of, but not really.
And my closing thoughts is the Eagles actually looked decent and we ran the ball today. But
This is
however,
why.
that because us actually not throwing the football for once made Jalen Hurts, my fantasy team, not do well. So I lost to Ben.
Did he run for like 100 yards?
No, he did not do anything. He
He
only
was the
got me
leading
11
rusher.
fantasy points.
Yeah, my other thought.
Austin Scott and Jordan Howard were the leading rushers today.
The Giants haven't lost yet. That's my other.
Well, 'cause they play tomorrow.
Okay, let him have this minor victory.
Yeah, let him. This very, very small victory. We're probably going to lose, even though the Chiefs.
And I got one more. When are we doing the college basketball shit?
Yes, as I said earlier, because Jared wasn't here, we moved it to next week so Ben would be able to have like all of the materials needed instead of being in Florida, where he is now.
Oh, ha, 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 ha. Imagine being in Florida. Okay, we got less than a minute.
Anyways, that's
Even though it's
episode
different.
36 of the Liberty for Philly podcast, and the
With Jared being
postponed,
late edition.
yeah, but the postponed NCAA prediction episode will be next week. So stay tuned for that. This has been episode 36. See you guys next time.